Yesterday, we talked about the division, the multiplication of numbers. Multiplication and division are connected. The multiplication is the opposite of division. So we are just going to somersault the multiplication today. Now, when you're talking about the division of numbers, when after writing the number, do not start from the ones. You start from the biggest place value. In our case, our biggest place value, when I consider the number, which is here ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and tens of thousands, then our biggest place value will be tens of thousands. Then you start dividing by considering 2 divided by 67. When I divide 2 divided by 67, it cannot. So I write a 0 on top of 2. Then the next step will be considering 21, and I divide by 67. 21 divided by 67, it cannot, because 21 is a very small number. Then I'm supposed to go to the next step, whereby I'm supposed to consider 270 divided by 67. For me to get the answer, this is where I'll now do the multiplication we were doing yesterday, whereby you get now 67, you multiply by 2, just to get a rough estimate of what number that can go 217. Now, when I look at the answer here, 134 is a very small number considering 217. So I get now 67 times 3, it's 208. I can take it, but it's also good to go to the next number and see whether it will be a very big number or not. When I multiply 67 times 4, I get 289. So, and 68, sorry. So I cannot take this. So I'm going to consider 201, because 268 is a bigger number and it cannot be taken away by 217. So, in other words, I'll take 3 and write it on top of 7, and then I take 201 as a result of multiplying 3 times 67, and then I take away. When I take away, I'll get 16. Our next step will be then to drop the 4. When I drop 4, I'll get 164. 164 will go 2 times, because 2 times 67 is 134. So I'll be made now to write our 2 on top of 4, and then I write 134 and I take away, just like I took away 201 from 217. When I take away, I get a 0 here and get a 3 and then a 0 here. Now I'll have 30, and we have another number that is remaining here. So I'll also drop it just like I dropped my 4 to get 305. When I divide 305 divided by 67, I'll get 4 because of 268. When I look at the next number, that is 5, I cannot take 5 because 67 times 5 is 335. When I'm taking away here, the number should not be bigger than the one that I'm supposed to take away. So I'll then consider my 4 because of 267. When I take away, I'll get 37. So my answer will be 324 remainder 37. Now remember that for you to get the right answer, it is important to remember that each and every number as you divide has an answer, so that you get the right answer. You'll have more exercises in your textbook.